What's going on, Paisanos? V here, coming at you guys, well, with another market watch today. Buy, don't buy. Buy, don't buy. It's all over the place. I decided to add a little more color to the scenery, and hopefully you guys like it. You know, the market really is, it's kind of wild right now. I mean, people are fearful because, you know, you can get a QCR of a card that you used to have as a highest rarity. And at the same time, there are those who are going in, who are buying into the market. And stay tuned for the end of this video, and I'm going to show you a card I think everyone's going to be wanting soon, and has been slowly rising while everyone has pretty much forgotten about this card. There are so many cards in this game still that have that potential value that can definitely rise, and then you got to pay extra money because everyone already found out about it, except you. Why? In this video, I'm going to go over some of those cards. Right out the gate, I need to talk about Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf. I bought this card for $50. I think I talked about this in a video not long ago. The price has since then spiked. At the lowest, it was 56. I remember it being roughly around 50. Currently, right now, the card's roughly around $88 to almost $90. Within a couple of sales, by the way, the card hits $100 for Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf. This card is a must-have card come February. Some players are starting to use the card right now in Fire Kings and Rescue Ace, but the minute it's February, you need this card. You just need one, but you ultimately need this card. Now, you don't need this exact card. There's other rarities, super rares, commons, all that jazz, but this is the highest rarity version of Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf. And Legendary Duelist Soulbringer Volcano has been a trash set, I mean, really bad set. With that said, Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf is not the only card. Obviously, it's Raging Phoenix. Now, you might look at this and say, V, this looks familiar. We talked about it yesterday, but the price has gone up even more. So, this card, Raging Phoenix, at the lowest within the past month, it was roughly around $18. I mean, you can even get over here for $15 if you caught it at the ass end of last month. The current price is $42 a copy. This is a card that's going to be used in almost every single Fire Kings deck, and you're going to need it. You need to grab this card. It will rise higher in value. It has only one printing, and let's be honest, it came out Legendary Duelist Soulbringer Volcano, so if you're lucky, you might get a reprint by the end of the year, but that means you won't have it for nationals, you won't have it for the upcoming YCS, definitely won't have it for the upcoming regional season, and yeah, of course you won't have it for locals. Fire Kings use this card. It is a staple that you need. Now, I love making fun of the pot collection. This is my favorite thing to make fun of. I don't know why. It's just so bad. Looking over at the pot collection, who bought this? Like, honestly, who actually bought this sealed and said, yep, that's a good idea? Pot cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Have always been cards that have been highly sought by Yu-Gi-Oh! Players. And don't get me wrong, high rarity pot cards, no matter what they are, for the most part, go for a pretty good penny. Some of them not really as much, but up here, yeah, they go for good money. But you can't tell me Pot of Greed QCR, this one over here, which by the way has peaked at $115, is now down to $77, is anywhere as valuable as Pot of Greed Ultimate Rare, which it might be actually. Let me see, hold on. Oh no, it's definitely not. Okay, cool. I thought the world's coming to that end. So unlimited versions are $36.99. That's fine, fair enough. First editions are about $84. So $84 for this Pot of Greed. Once again, it used to be a lot more. You can see over here, first editions were $180. This is the highest rarity Pot of Greed, as opposed to the QCR Pot of Greed, which, let's get some filters, is about $77. So don't get me wrong, this looks cool, but the Ultimate Rare Pot of Greed is still the higher rarity version. This is new, so everybody wants to grab this. There's not many of this around because Konami purposely shorts their product. By the way, let me just clear something out real quickly so we can all come to the same understanding. When I mean Konami shorts their product, it's not the same as like a stock short. It's totally different. I'll give you an example so we're all on the same page. See this phone over here? Apple makes tons of iPhones, right? So when you look at this iPhone, you're probably going, V, I can get this iPhone right now. I go on Facebook Marketplace and probably buy this iPhone. Or go to my nearest Apple store and buy this iPhone. There's plenty of it. What if Apple came out and said, the new iPhone? Yeah, you know, instead of like reducing it for everybody, every state only gets 5,000. How many of these would be available? And why would Apple do that? I mean, they can make 20,000, 30,000 a second with their factories and forced labor. But like, why would they do that? Konami, Apple? Well, they do it because it's hard to get. If it's hard to get, well, everybody wants it. This is my problem with Konami, is Konami literally took the same idea of the secondary market and applied it to their own products. and they try to force it on you like you need to grab this. You do not need to grab that you need to grab shit, everything Konami throws your way. You just don't. I think Konami's doing something kind of like what Upper Deck did forever ago, where they made everything was like short print, hard to get, short print, hard to get, new set, short print, hard to get, short print, hard to get, special edition. And what ended up happening was you get shit like this, which in the short term, people are like, oh my God, it's short print, hard to get, I need it. But then they realize after the 80th short print, hard to get Konami does, you don't need this. And the higher rarity version, and the harder to get older version was actually always the best version. This is why Mickey Mantle, the original Mickey Mantle promo cards, the rookie cards are still worth a crazy amount of money, even though Upper Deck and all the other companies try to reprint things like their very varied versions like not too long ago. They're cute, they go for a couple of bucks, not bad. But the old Mickey Mantle cards are insane, Babe Ruth cards, you know? So I think Konami's kind of falling in this rabbit hole where right in the front end they made a lot of money, but as they keep doing this short print hard to get, it keeps going lower and lower and lower and lower and lower as Yu-Gi-Oh players to stop falling for the fucking trap. That's something that I could do a whole video about that and actually show you examples, because right off the gate, I mean, look at this. We can see this right over here and see like, and anyone in the comments defending this is those who bought this shit at $300. Let's say it for what it is. Yu-Gi-Oh players are masters of coping. They're so good at doing that. They just can't stand the fact that they just got fucked in the ass. They have to go, no, the podcast at 300, it'll be 5 one day. It won't, okay? Stop fucking coping. You got literally dog shit fucking figurines, okay? Fucking that you made yourself, and a bunch of pod cards that are nowhere near as good as the original prints. They're cool still, they're great. But once again, you got the new Mickey Mantle card, and the guy's been dead for how many years, even though the rookie card's still worth more money, meaning QCRs are nice. In the case of Pot of Prosperity, that one looks nice. I'm not saying it doesn't, but the Starlight Rare's worth more. Alright, moving forward, let's look at the Core Century Rares, because there are good Core Century Rares. I know I always dog them. Okay, and I have a guy who puts a counter on how many times I dog cards. I constantly dog QCRs, I will say that. But there are some that, I'll be honest with you, even shocked to me, have been rising in value. 25th Anniversary Rarity Collection, they're not all winners. It should be like a subtext underneath this Rarity Collection. With that said, there are winners though. Like, well, Effect Veiler, which when it first came out was $53, nobody bought it, and went as low as $39. Looking at it right now, it is $76 a copy. You can't say that hasn't risen in value. It has. I'm shocked. I'll be the first. Hey, I'm the first to say it. I'm shocked that shit has done that. Is Ultimate Rare better? Of course. Is Starlight Rare better? Of course. But QCR is cheaper for the short time, and that's why it has value. Infinite Permits, basically it did the same thing, but it's starting to go back down. But, I mean, this card had a debut of roughly 120. Of course it was going to go down. This is not going to compete against the Ultimate Rare. It's still roughly around $70, which isn't bad. It's been selling pretty healthily. Healthily, is that a word? I've been seeing people do the Talents. Unfortunately, I don't think this is gonna last long. Talents debuted at 55, peaked at 59. So I mean, that's not much of a variance in its gap. It did go as low as 46, and right now it's 48. I think Triple Attack Talents QCRs are nice, but to be honest with you, it's not worth it. Like, it's just not worth it. Other cards like Nibiru are I mean, they're up a little bit. They're going to be going down, in my opinion, because the Ultimate Rare is like $77, I think. It's $80. It's just better value-wise, because and resellability-wise. When I say value meaning not just the way you could buy it for a decent price, but you can also sell it. It's very important. Whenever I say value, people always think about it as a consumer, but you also have to mentally think about it as a seller. Because if I'm saying value, you need to turn around and eventually sell some of these cards. And you ideally, I mean, some would argue that you want to sell the shit for more than what you paid for, therefore making some value. So I do mean it both ways. With that said, some of these cards are just pretty much stabilizing the price point. They're almost in a weird stasis. And I mean by like this page right over here, including Barone, I mean, if you look at the listings and the market price, they're all for the most part in this weird stasis. And then you start getting below the page, and then you start seeing them slowly fall. And I do think that some of these cards will fall, but some of them will actually surprise us. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see some of these cards rise. Even in the weird stasis cards, like Forbidden Droplet QCR, I wouldn't be surprised that rises in value as a QCR, as opposed to the Ultimate Rare. Ultimate Rare is going to be worth more money, but the QCR will do the same thing, kind of which we saw with Effect Veiler, where it'll try to catch up. So that's what I'll see. One thing is Draw and Lockbird. Now, I will say this card hasn't had a lot of buys. 1227, 1222, 1215s, 12s, 9. Every couple of days, someone feels a little frisky and buys some Draw and Lockbirds. With that said, this card's going to be seen play in the next meta. You'll probably see it play up to Nationals. So this is definitely a card that a lot of people are going to want to go ahead and grab. And here's the question. Do you grab the Ultimate Rare? It's a lot of money. Like $163 is any times 3? Bro, how many banks do I need to fucking hit up to get this? With that said, if you want a cheaper draw, the cheapest draw right now is in the current Structure Deck Fire Kings. And it's been rising. The price point is roughly around $1.50. The current real price is roughly around almost $5 for a common Draw and Lockbird. So if you make fun of someone playing commons, those commons are 12 bucks, my guy. Like, that's crazy for commons that are in a starter deck. They're 12 bucks for 3 commons. Meanwhile, how much is a starter? 10? 11 if you're getting ripped off. Anything on that, you're getting definitely straight up butt fuck. Like, it is crazy to see this. But makes sense, because Draw and Lockbird is one of the hottest hand traps right now. A lot of players fear it and are working to stop it. Now, we have Age of Overlord. This set is aging like fine wine. Cards like Arias, the Labyrinth, Butler actually went up in value. Used to be roughly around 60 to 70. I saw it as low as 60, but I can't find it anywhere. But anyway, 70 definitely. The card price right now is way above that. Arias, the Labyrinth, Butler had this is a weird chart. Chart's such a goofy ass chart. But the current price is more for around $119. That's because Labyrinth obviously came out the biggest winner out of this ban. This has been Labyrinth. It was a meta contender throughout last meta, definitely guaranteeing players some invites, some YCS tops, and it just looked at the bans and said, we're not touched, we're the best now. Fucking get wrecked. And I do think within a short term, Labyrinth will be the best deck. I do think after February, we still see Labyrinth sporadically doing well. But realistically, when Fire Kings get their new stuff, and I mean when I mean Fire Kings get new stuff in February, I also mean Rescue Ace, it's going to be really hard for Labyrinth to compete. With that said, if you had your QCR Labyrinth, Arias, sell them. I think they're going to be going down in value. There's no way this is going to maintain value when Fire Kings literally get a shotgun to a stick fight. And Rescue Ace, like if you think, oh, Rescue Ace got hit, bro, Rescue Ace is about to get the craziest bump ever. I don't know my voice pitch, but it did. All right. So I do think Labyrinth cards are a good sell right now. I don't think they're a good hold unless you care about the next like 30 days. If you care about the next 30 days, I guess Labyrinth is definitely the way. With that said though, the minute February happens, Labyrinth is going to get pushed aside and the value will decline. Wanted Secret Simple Sports is $110. This card is not looking to go lower anytime soon. With that said, there are alternatives, okay? So if you need, it's like my bicycle example. If you need to get around town, yeah, a car is probably the best way. But you'll get there with a bicycle. You'll get there with a skateboard. You'll get there with rollerblades. But you'll definitely get there faster, easier, efficiently, more comfortably with a car. That is wanted. That is the wanted package. Is it fair? Hell no. But don't worry about it. I'm going to be streaming soon on Twitch TV, YGOPaisano. I do have the wanted engine. I will be playing some decks that utilize that. But with that said as well, I'm going to be playing decks that don't use the wanted engine. I'm going to be playing decks that will smoke players that use this engine and actually punish them. Cards like Draw and Lockbird are pretty good, I hear. Even more importantly, though, other cards in the game actually are good against the wanted engine. Number one. Number two, other decks are good against the decks that are using the wanted engine. So you're not forced to use the wanted engine come February. It just looks like that because, let's be honest with you, it's a shiny new toy, but the prerequisite is like $400. So I understand that for a lot of players who are upset about that. Once again, we're gonna go ahead and get that sorted. Once that's, by the way, I see this little thing right here. What the fuck is this? What? That's weird. Okay, anyway, we're gonna get that sorted, and like I said, I'm gonna have some decks coming up on this channel in which we're gonna be talking about the wanted archetype, and I mean, well, not archetype, but sub-archetype, and basically, is it needed, is it not needed, or can decks still beat it? And I think decks can. I just recently got second with Flunderies. I wouldn't be surprised if Flunderies start smoking kids left and right because Shifter is still banned. And one engine looks insane until Shifter drops, and then it's not good. Then it's like the worst engine ever. Another card if you are looking to play any kind of fire deck would be Deco Talker Heat Soul. This card has a bunch of print things, but if you want to get the highest printing, which is slowly going to be rising, as you see it over here, look at the past month. I'm telling you, slowly rising. It had a peak and then it went back down. People are going to need this card for roughly around $15. You need this card, okay? It's $15. It will rise up in value because it's part of a combo. People are going to be using it a lot. It's not like a maybe kind of sort of thing like Dark and Hida, which is already rising. We talked about that yesterday. No. This is going to be rising because this right here is used in the part of the combo in order to, well, do a lot of goofy shit if you're playing fire. So you're going to need this. You're going to want this. This is the highest rated version. It's currently $15. It's not going to be. It's going to rise a lot more in value. Boom. There it is right there. All right. Then we have Amphibious Swarm Ship and Blow Whale. God, this card's name's so retarded. Okay, listen. Looking at the card right now, the Ultra Rare, it's not been doing much. It did have a quick spike to $10 when Yu-Gi-Oh! Players realized they need it. But the current price is roughly around $6. I do think this card price will rise in the future. If you want to grab the rare, I won't blame you. The rare version is roughly around $2 to $3. You can go ahead and grab that. If you get a good deal on it, grab the rare right now. And the reason I'm saying grab the rare now is because, yes, it's a needed card, but they need it as a one-of, number one. Number two, it's Ultra Red and Dark Neostorm. A ton of these were pulled. A ton of these were discarded. No big deal. And I do think that, even and as well as the rare, and I do think that as time goes on, the prices are going to go lower because people are going to be focusing on other cards. Once again, Deco Toker Heat Soul. Once again, Salamangreat Phoenix. Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf. Like, people need these cards. These are the money cards. And Blow Whale is not really the money card. I do see his card going low in value. Then we have Crossout Designator. So this is the card that I want to talk about for this video because this is basically the card that everyone's going to need. In the OCG, they play a variance of hand traps, even though they have one Crossout Designator. That's how important this card is. This card's price has been rising while you've been sleeping, by the way. It has been rising crazily. Now, I'm not a big fan of the Secret Rare. I like the Ultra Rare, but maybe my old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Player, maybe. Who knows? It did rise pretty crazily and then started calming down a little bit. There is a heavy play. That's why it's low. Realistically, the card's $14 a copy for this card. Now, if you want to go ahead and look at the... Oh, my God. If you want to go ahead and look at the Ultra Rare, the Ultra Rare isn't doing you any favors, by the way. The Ultra Rare Crossout Designator actually is roughly around $12 a copy. So they're both expensive. They're both cards you're going to need. In the OCG, once again, I want to emphasize this part. This is very important. If you look at any OCG deck that plays any fire variation, they have enough room to play Crossout Designator. And you can say, wait a minute, V, they're doing it because of Max C. Wrong. You got dudes playing one Effect Filler, one or two Nibiru, randomly adding in cards like Ghost Ogre and Ghost Bell. They're not doing that because they want to hopefully see it. You know, if you want to see a card, you see it at 3, right? They're doing it because their one Crossout Designator hits harder when you have a variance of hand traps in your deck. Obviously, if you open those variants, helps you out. But Crossout Designator is really good at stopping a lot of players. And I do think the future of Yu-Gi-Oh! Come February is going to be Yu-Gi-Oh! Players playing this card, maybe even playing Call by the Grave, but realistically playing this card, because if you can get your combo off and your opponent tries to nib you, Crossout Designator beats Call by the Grave every single time. Like, this card is needed, and nobody realizes how badly they need it yet. I'm telling you right now, this is going to be the card everyone's going to want to grab, because if you're playing Fire Kings, because if you're playing Rescue Ace, you ain't doing dick if your opponent nibs you. You're just not. Oh no, V, I could make a kind of decent combo. Sure. But if I use one card to break up and you basically have a couple of plays left, minus a full board, full setup, hey, I could break that. That's easy. I think anyone can. And I do think as time goes on, we'll see that happen with cards like Crossout Designator being utilized more in players' decks. And I really think that you need to pick up this card if you're looking to play any kind of meta deck, particularly a fire meta deck, because this is going to be one of those cards that will shut you down easily. This is one of those cards that you're going to feel confident with a nib. Your nib gets cross out. Hey, listen, I got full combo. I use one card to stop your nib, and I'm good to go. Full ride. You go. 5 cards in hand, by the way. I do think this card's gonna be super huge in the current meta, especially the future meta of this game. I definitely think you should pick it up, and it's up to you if you want to. Once again, you don't have to ever pick anything up. You don't have to listen to me. You can see me rambling in front of my camera and eventually go, okay, February comes, maybe even March. What's Crossout looking like? It's definitely going to be the card that a lot of people are going to be going to because they want to get their combos established. If you don't establish your combos in a new meta, you auto lose. You might as well just scoop it up. If you get nibbed and you don't have anything else to follow up on your combo, bro, go to the next game. Save time. Time's the thing in this game. And anyway, Paisans, I really appreciate you guys watching my video. Make sure to hit the like, subscribe button, comment down below. It's your boy V. And you, Paisans, have a great day.